From the University of Maryland's Robert H. Smith School of Business, this is the Smith Report, Summer Edition. I'm Carrie Handworker from the Office of Marketing Communications. Each week this summer, the Smith Report will feature a different conversation with a Maryland Smith MBA student working as an intern. This week, we are checking in with Sammy Santosh. She's working virtually at Verizon this summer in their 5G group. Here's our conversation with Sammy. Hi, Sammy. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Excited to participate.
How are things going for you?
I think things are going great, right? So, given everything, I'm grateful to have an internship for one, right? So I think that's a big deal. Some of my classmates didn't get the chance either because of timing or because they lost internships. So I'm very grateful to have one. And then Verizon, I think, has been doing a really good job with turning everything virtual and still giving us great opportunities to network and meet other people within the organization, whether interns or not. So I've been really enjoying it.
What's your role at Verizon this summer?
My role is an MBA intern on the 5G commercialization team on the Verizon consumer group side. So there's a business group, and then there's a consumer group, and then there's the media group. And so I'm on the 5G commercialization team for the consumer side, which is super cutting edge, super cool. It's actually a pretty small team as well, which is kind of unique. With Verizon being such a large organization, my team is pretty small. And so there's opportunities to really be kind of in the know of what Verizon is doing, what 5G looks like kind of around the world and in the US specifically. So I have an individual project as well as a group project. So my individual project is around the global landscape for 5G and seeing what other countries are doing, and are there anything, that other countries are doing that the US and Verizon specifically should be looking at as well. And then I am on a group intern team that is looking at the shift to digital, which obviously very of the moment, which is great. So a lot of that has happened because of COVID, kind of out of necessity. But then we're looking at, as things open back up, how do we get Verizon to kind of keep people going to digital channels over in person or on the phone?
How have you been working at home? Give us a glimpse into your day.
I spend a lot of time on Zoom, I guess WebEx for Verizon, calls, not gonna lie. I guess corporate America likes a lot of phone calls. So there's a combination of kind of intern calls as well as calls with my 5G team, calls with either my group for my intern project or people that I've been connecting with in relation to my individual projects or my group projects. So I'm on calls a lot of the day, not gonna lie, but then also trying to make time to do my own work as well. So I might be on a call and then scooch over to my couch and do a little work on my couch and then scooch back to my desk and hop on another call, kind of switch up my location so that I'm not kind of stuck at my desk the whole day.
How have you been able to get a sense of the culture? I feel like that might be one of the hardest parts of all of this, especially, it's different for folks who were working at Verizon and then went virtual. They already have these relationships. Have you been able to build relationships with your supervisors and colleagues? And what about the other interns?
So that's definitely a challenge. I do think that what's great about Verizon is everyone, even virtual, is so helpful. So that's kind of the vibe I've gotten from everyone I've talked to. Everyone is willing to help if I have questions. They're shoot me an email, send me a GChat. We'll set up some time. So everyone is very, very helpful and very warm and welcoming. So that is definitely kind of the vibe I'm getting from the culture. And that's what everyone was saying even in person, which is great. I will say they're big on having you connect with people. So through my individual project as well as my group project, I've had to set aside time to talk to a lot of people within the organization outside of my team. And I would say 75% of them have put their cameras on, which is very helpful for me. Some of them I think realize, right, that we're interns and we don't know everyone the way that they might all know each other. And so it's been helpful to not only talk to people outside of just my team, but also kind of see faces, and everyone I've talked to has been very welcoming. As far as the interns, we're a pretty large intern class because of undergrad interns. So I think there's 300 plus interns at Verizon, mostly undergrad. And then I'm not sure how many graduate interns, but it is a significantly smaller group. I will say they have general intern events, so a lot of opportunities to talk to like senior leadership in the C-suite. They have calls with all interns, but then they'll also have smaller calls with the consumer group itself and those interns, which is about 55 interns, and we'll get a chance to kind of talk to people that way, which is really nice. We've had a few intern happy hours, and we've broken up into even smaller groups to get to know each other a little bit more. All voluntary, of course, but I'm just a social butterfly, so I'm like, let me talk to you. I want to see people. I want to meet people. So that's been really nice.
How did you get the internship? And when did you find out that it was still going to happen, but it was going to be virtual?
Sure. So I got my internship through one of the career conferences. So I went to National Black in September, I think it was. And I got my Verizon first round interview while I was there. So I was there for 2 days, and I spoke to someone the first day, got it the next day. And then I had either one more interview, or I went straight to like the in-person super day. And that happened in, I want to say November, either late October or early November. And then I got my offer in December. And so I made my decision, I think like very early January, to take Verizon. So I was able to go into spring semester with that figured out, which was really nice. But because I was pretty early on in the process, they were still interviewing people. People were still getting offers. People were accepting, declining, whatever. So they told us we were going like the first few weeks virtual. I want to say, so I started June 1. I want to say they told us first few weeks virtual in April, and towards the end of April, yeah. And they weren't very specific on what the first few weeks meant. I kind of had a feeling it was going to turn into you're going full virtual. And I think I heard in May that it was going full virtual, kind of when all the other companies were making that same decision. But again, it was a huge relief to hear that versus, sorry, you don't have an internship anymore. So I am, again, very grateful for that. But yeah, I think it was in May that they made that like official, we're going full virtual. It's tough because they obviously want people to get the full like experience of being in the location, because they have this huge campus and meeting people and meeting other interns. But I think they saw the value of still having people there. And I know for MBA interns especially, like our placement is based off teams that need help. So they say, I need an MBA intern, give me someone. And so our positions are really based off, do these teams even have work? It's not this kind of like, let's make something up. It's, I need someone to help. So I think they realize the value in having people there, even virtually, to help a lot of these teams.
What do you think is the biggest opportunity of this virtual situation? And what will you take away from this to your future career?
I feel like that's such a strong question, in that we're going to be talking about this for so many years to come. And as we look for full-time work, going into our second year as well. And for me, I think it shows a level of resiliency that I don't know if a lot of people knew they had, including me. And as, things develop, we don't know how long this is going to be, right? We don't know how long this state of our lives is going to be. And it may very well be that my full-time position will start virtual. And that's obviously not ideal, but I think having classes go virtual, having this whole internship go virtual, prepares you for that outcome that could be possible. And also, even if it's not, no position I think after this is ever going to be incapable of like working from home or having some interaction through Zoom calls, or if you're doing calls internationally, right? Like you're going to have to do some kind of telework. And so I think it prepares you much more for that than I certainly would have been before.
One last question, I guess. Do you have any advice for students that'll be in your position next year? What's your advice on this whole internship search and just getting through the first year, I guess?
As far as prepping for the first year, maybe not just like internship stuff or including internship stuff, like starting early. So I think like I took the summer work very seriously. So I took not only the career summer work but also the like academic summer work. I took it very seriously so that when I started classes, I felt like I had at least like ruffled things around a bit in my like being in school brain. It had been a while, so I needed to kind of warm it up. So I would say like take that very seriously over the summer, including the career stuff, because recruiting starts early, and with everything that happens in the first semester in our program, it can be a lot, and it can be very hard to figure out how to prioritize. And so if you do as much as you can over the summer before classes start, you're going to have a leg up. You're going to feel a lot better, and you're going to be able to manage your time better. And make sure you treat the career search, and it's so much easier said than done because it was really hard for me to do this, but treat the career search just as seriously as you treat your schoolwork. I was definitely guilty of putting my schoolwork first, which is not bad per se, but I think you have to try and at least find little bits of time and effort that get put towards your career as well.
It's been great hearing about your internship, and it sounds like you've really shown how resilient you are working from home there for Verizon. And we will be excited to have you back in class this fall, however that might take shape. But I really just wanted to thank you for joining us and sharing with us all about your internship.
Thanks so much for having me. So happy to help out.
That's our conversation with Maryland Smith MBA student Sammy Santosh, who's interning this summer with Verizon. Thanks to Sammy for sharing her time with us, and thanks to you for watching. From the University of Maryland's Robert H. Smith School of Business, I'm Carrie Handworker in the Office of Marketing Communications.